So, yeah, Shivani, Chouhan, I request you to make your presentation. See that the maximum time allotted is 15 minutes. So
Yes, sir.
you have to focus at least 3-4 things. And your opinion, your dream about iDRIM, your role, that is also last to present. Plus the priorities and all that, the global. So try to articulate and complete it within. I'll be very glad and for your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll try to finish in the 12 minutes only. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Everyone can see my screen? Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. Myself, Shivani Chouhan, Ph.D. Research Scholar at Center of Excellence in Disaster Mitigation and Management, IIT Roorkee. Today, I'm feeling very glad and excited to present at 7th IDRIM Cafe on the views and the contribution of the young DRR researchers and the role of various DRR institutions in the changing global disaster scenarios. As we all know, frequency of disaster have increased in the past few decades. India is one of the countries which is prone to multi-hazard with huge loss of life and property every year from earthquake, flood, wind, landslide, and many more. There is immense need to promote more researches into the field of DRR in order to minimize future losses. After Disaster Management Act came into existence in India in 2005, many DRR institutions and centers were established in India in order to promote researches in DRR and enhance skills knowledge of the young population. Some of the DRR institution has been mentioned here. The Center of Excellence in Disaster Mitigation and Management, CoEDMM IIT Roorkee, is the first center in DRR established in 2006. It's a multidisciplinary research and education center with students and researchers from various backgrounds like architecture, planning, civil, mechanical, hydrology, geomatics, sociology, etc. Currently, there are 20 plus PhD research scholars working under expert supervision on various research topics like hydrological hazard, tectonic hazard, biohazard, climatic hazard, man-made hazard, multi-hazard, etc. To support the DRR researches, there are several national and international funding agencies like NMHS, Co-Prepare, Indo-Canadian Fellowship, and many more. NMHS is the National Mission on Himalayan Studies implemented by the Ministry of Environment, Forest, and Climate Change. This mission is supporting various researches conducted on DRR in Himalayas by various institutes. On the other hand, Co-Prepare is the collaborative Indo-German project on estimating and predicting natural hazard in the Himalayan region. This is funded by UGC and DARD. It's a student exchange collaboration between University of Potsdam, Germany and IIT Roorkee, India. They organize several workshops, programs to enhance skills, knowledge and interest of the young researchers. The DRR is a multidisciplinary subject. It involves the contribution and input from people from all backgrounds. Only together we can reduce the disaster risk. Young researchers and professionals can contribute in DRR in various ways. This I'll explain through my own work experience and learnings. I did my bachelor's in urban planning from NIT Bhopal. So basically I'm a planner. Then I did my post-graduation MTech in disaster mitigation and management from IIT Roorkee. Then I got the opportunity to work in 133 projects, out of which 59 projects were DRR related. I'll share the learning and brief about 5 to 6 projects out of it in the coming slide to show how this field is multidisciplinary and how we can all contribute to make it a success. And currently I'm pursuing PhD from IIT Roorkee. The case study 1 is the DRA project of Uttarakhand, state of India. This was funded by World Bank, supported by Uttarakhand government and project of BHI Singapore, ERN Mexico and AIT Bangkok. This project, I got the opportunity to work with various domain experts like earthquake engineers, hydrologists, sociologists, GIS expert, planner, civil engineer, architect, chemical engineers, and many more. I was the part of data collection team, which took place at 350 plus location. There was earthquake vulnerability survey, flood vulnerability survey, socio-economic survey, validation survey, critical infrastructure survey, industrial risk assessment survey, and many more. Here I got to learn about ground reality physically, culturally, mentally, sociologically, economically, and many more. There is a lot of scope for young researchers to work for Himalayan community who are the main sufferer during the disaster and fill the gap between theory and the ground reality. In the same DRA project, I got the opportunity to work in disaster risk assessment that took place at 75 industry and 4 oil depots. Here, I was involved not only in the data collection part, but also in the part of risk assessment using Aloha modeling. I got the opportunity to work with chemical and industrial experts on how result of chemical modeling is predicted, spread of vapor dispersion, and many more as per wind speed, wind direction, climate, and effect from the surrounding resources, etc., etc. The best learning was how to prepare the nearby hospital with the antidote for the hazardous chemical stored in that particular industry. Based on my previous industrial experience, I got the opportunity to be the part of industrial risk assessment and safety training program at National Fertilizer Limited, NFL Nangal Unit, Punjab. My another case study is the Mason training program on earthquake resistant construction technique, as there is a say that earthquake don't kill, but the building kills. So this project, I got to learn a lot from the earthquake engineers, especially the practical session where a demo unit was constructed with all the earthquake bands and earthquake design requirements. I got to learn about retrofitting techniques, that is how to strengthen the old building so that it performs better during seismic activities. Got the opportunity to listen and learn from the masons himself. Till date, 58 trainings was completed with total of 1491 masons. This field also have various research scope. Northeast India, it's a beautiful place in the Himalayas, but prone to multi-hazard. I was fortunate that I got the opportunity to work for the tribal communities of the Himalayas, Darjeeling and Sikkim area. The project title, Sensitization Demo Unit Construction and Disaster Awareness. This was funded by Caritas India. The people over there are very skillful, active. Their traditional method are superb, but still they face several problems because they are not much connected with the world. This project for me was the mutual sharing of the knowledge. In this project, the special role was played by the chemical engineer. As you can see in the picture, that the chemical was used to join the joints of the bamboos. I tested this chemical at civil lab of IIT Roorkee, and its tensile strength came out to be more than steel. The chemical was thick liquid form applied over the rope, which joins the joint of the bamboos, and which in the few minutes gets stronger. Later, the mechanical engineer also played the role by designing the container for this liquid for the spray purpose so that application become easier. Now here comes the role of the computer science engineer. The project title, Development of Crowd Management System for the Kavad Mela, funded by Patanjali and supported by the state government. The people of North India must know about this fair, where more than 10 million people visit Haridwar city every year, and that too by walking. It's a huge fair, and the crowd management is a real challenge for the state. The challenges related to stay, food, medical, fire, toilets, etc. This app was developed for the travelers as well as for the responder, or we can say the authority, all at single tip. The traveler can locate their nearest facility, and the authorities can locate the emergency point and send the help at that particular location. This project was a real challenge, and I got to learn a lot from the authorities and traveler point of view. Contribution of young researchers is required here so that this haphazard situation become hassle-free. Now here is some brief about my own PhD research work on which I'm working, where I'm trying to connect the gap between the decision maker and the ground reality. My topic is participatory risk resilient planning framework for the sustainable hill habitat. The aim is to make Indian Himalayan region resilient, sustainable habitat, focusing on the risk identification, risk assessment, and participatory decision. So my first objective is to identify multi-hazard risk indicators from pre-disaster scenario. The second is to identify risk indicator from post-disaster scenario, that is understanding disaster recovery process. The third objective focuses on the risk integration with the sustainability goals. And the last objective is the integration of all the above three objectives for the development of decision prioritization system to prioritize local level resilient sustainable planning decision through participatory process. For my second objective that focuses on the post-disaster recovery, I collected data from 700 households from various locations who had faced major disaster in the past 1 decade. This survey was funded by Co-Prepare. Similarly, for the third objective, SDG-related data has been collected from the 17 villages. Overall, hill-specific risk indicators has been identified from pre-post disaster scenario and SDG point of view from the survey on hazard exposure, vulnerability, and coping capacity to calculate site-specific risk. As there is no
Another 2 minutes. Another 2 minutes,
sir.
Shivani.
Sure, sir.
Just 2
Yes,
minutes. You complete it.
The contribution of DRR researchers at various field and at various locations is the need today globally. But here I would like to focus on the Indian Himalayan region, which is blessed with natural resources but faces disaster every year. It is well said that preparation through education is less costlier than learning from tragedy. According to me, there is the need to connect bridge between researchers, ground reality, and ground acceptance. There is need to enhance the skill knowledge of the professionals and the decision maker who are working on ground. Any execution decision should be made based on foolproof research and vice versa. Every research output should be implemented on ground. There is need to create awareness and building coping capacity of the people. DRR is a multidisciplinary subject. Thus, with the help of experienced research, expertise, and active participation of each one of us, DRR is possible. Just we need to think about it from individual point of views. Thank you.